Okay, boys and girls, let's continue with reading, please. It's week 2, the history of communication. We're going to be reading pages 320 and 321. And again, we have discussed the history of communication. We started with letters and printing and the printing press and telegraph and telephone and radio. And today, boys and girls, it's the television. Television is the next in the history of communication. By the early 1900s, when operators were first transmitting words by radio, many scientists had begun experimenting with the transmission of pictures. These experiments eventually led to the development of the television, a tremendously popular communication system that is used daily in nearly every corner of the world. Many scientists contributed to the invention of television. Among them was Philo Farnsworth, an American scientist who created an electronic scanning system in 1922. This became a breakthrough in television technology. Television works by changing pictures and sounds into electronic signals, which are then sent through the air. A television set receives these signals and turns them back into pictures and sounds. As more families came to own television sets, TV programming began to influence people's attitudes and beliefs. By watching TV shows, viewers can see the latest fashions and hear the opinions of people with different backgrounds and beliefs. Through advertisements, people are encouraged to buy certain products. Television also plays a major role in how people learn about their government and select their leaders. Ways television signals reach homes. 1. Satellites beam television signals to satellite dishes mounted outside homes. Satellite in outer space sends a signal to your satellite dish that's on top of people's homes. 2. Antennas on roofs or TV sets receive signals from local television stations. We have a local television transmitter antenna, and it sends again the signals, electronic signals, to a television antenna that's on top of someone's home. Or 3, cable television signals are sent to homes through an underground cable. Cable company, the cable that's underneath the ground that's connected to your home. Okay, boys and girls, so these are 3 different ways how television signals reach your home. Either you have a satellite dish top of your home, or you have an antenna, or there's wires underneath the ground, boys and girls. And this is an example of an old TV and a black and white TV show, boys and girls. Television. We still use televisions today, boys and girls, but they do not look like the way they did when they were first invented. Televisions, television TV programming began to influence people's attitudes and beliefs. Influence. If you influence people, you use your power or ability to change what you think. And boys and girls, we are deeply influenced by TV shows that we watch and commercials. They're always trying to persuade you to do something, buy something, go somewhere, and even government to vote for someone. Okay. Let's see, boys and girls. This is Philo Taylor Farnsworth. He is the man who is credited with inventing the first television in 1927. And boys and girls, he was only 21 years old. Very young inventor. And huge praise for him. He must be proud because he invented something that is still being used today, boys and girls. Um, see the let's see. Wanted to point out something to you, boys and girls. Okay. 1927 was the first TV, and what I wanted to point out was the first commercial. There it is. America's first television commercial. Even though America started having black and white TV shows, watching them on their television since like 1928, but for 13 years, boys and girls, it was commercial free. There was no commercials. And then in the first commercial was in America, took place on July 1st, 1941, and it was the first American advertisement, and it was only 10 seconds long on NBC, and it was for a watch. And here is the first TV commercial, boys and girls. And that was the first commercial, boys and girls. First commercial. Big difference now from the commercials that we see now, especially like the most famous commercials that are created are during the Super Bowl halftime, and those commercials can cost millions of dollars to make, boys and girls. And that was the first one. The one that you just saw right now is for a watch. Very interesting. How we have come a long way, boys and girls, to how television began. And television shows were black and white. The first color shows didn't air. First color TVs were in 1966. So maybe about 60 years ago, boys and girls, that's when your color TV, us watching color on your TV, has only been around for about 60 years, boys and girls. That's pretty cool. All right. Thank you, boys and girls. What do you think it's next, boys and girls, after television? What do you think is next in the history of communication?